It drives us to Okay, am I audible to all? Am I audible, Sneha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, Today we are going to finish our second unit. Okay, the second unit is responsive web design (RWD). In the at the previous lecture, we have finished at most 50% part we have finished at the previous lecture. So the remaining part today we have to finish. So just we have to revise. Okay. So previously, first of all, we are going to discuss the topics that is responsive design. What is RWD? Introduction to RWD techniques like fluid layout, fluid images, media queries. These are the techniques. With the help of that techniques, we have to design the responsive web application. Then introduction to the RWD framework. Then Twitter Bootstrap. So today we are going to see Bootstrap background and features, getting started with the Bootstrap. Then demystifying grids of Canvas, Bootstrap components, JS plugin and customization. All these topics today we have to finish. First, just we have to revise the previous topics. That is, first we have seen what do you mean by responsive web design. Okay, responsive web design is the approach that suggests the design and development should respond to the user's behavior and environment based on the screen size, platform, and orientation. Okay, the basic concept behind the responsive web design is that whatever web applications you have designed, it should be properly displayed on any of the device. It is not depend on the size of the screen. Okay, any size, or it will fulfill or it will properly display on any screen. Okay, it is the concept of responsive web design. Okay, web pages can be viewed using many different devices like desktop, tablets, phones. Your web page should look good and to be easy to use regardless of the device. Okay, that is the better way to access the internet, access the web applications on any of the device. It is called responsive web design when you use CSS and HTML to resize, hide, shrink, enlarge, or move the content to make it look good on any screen. screen. Okay, first at the first lecture we have, or in the first unit we have finished CSS and HTML, because whatever new concepts we are going to see, everything is having the very strong support of the CSS. Okay, and HTML. HTML, it is the basic, but CSS is having very strong support to develop any type of web application. If you are going to use Bootstrap, you require the CSS. If you want to develop responsive web design, you require the CSS. So CSS is very important for the web applications. Web pages should not leave out information to fit smaller devices, but rather adapt its content to fit any device. Now the next part is that what is the viewport. Actually it is the important part, or we can say it is the term which we require to develop the RWD. The viewport is the user visible area of a web page. Okay, means it indicates that which screen we are going to use to display that particular web application or particular web page. The viewport varies with the device and will smaller on mobile phone, on a computer screen. Okay, again, the viewport it is varies because every device is having the width, which is having the screen width, or which is having the specific screen width, like 760 pixels, 200, sorry, 1200 pixels. Likewise, every screen or every device is having the separate, every device is having the fixed width of the screen. Accordingly, we can develop the web applications, and it will execute on that particular device. Then how to set the viewport? We have seen the syntax to set the viewport. To set the viewport, we have a element meta. Then we have to write down name is equal to viewport content width. Content is equal to width is equal to device oblique width. That means it will adopt according to the device width. Okay, it will adopt that particular web page itself according to the device width. Initial scale, it is 1.0. It is for the zooming angle, or how much the base by default zoom level it is, that is 1.0. Initial scale is equal to 1.0. It indicates that it is the initial zoom level of the web page. Then these are the techniques with the help of that we can develop RWD. RWD consists of three coding techniques. First one is media queries, flood grids, flexible images, and media. Okay. So first we are going to finish the media queries, adapt the content to the specific screen size. Okay. So according to the screen size, we have to adapt the content, or according to the screen size, our content is going to display on that particular device. So here we have a use @media rule to include the block of CSS properties only if a certain condition is true. Okay. Now here, if any of the condition is true, then and then only that particular code is going to execute. And if that particular code is if that particular code, we cannot say it is exactly the code, but we can say it is the styles also. If that particular condition is satisfied, then that particular style is going to execute. Otherwise, the by default style is going to execute. Likewise, we have seen the example in the previous lecture also. The first one is media queries. It is a technique. With the help of that we can develop the RWD. And the media queries, it will support on the adopt content on a specific screen size. Okay, I think we have seen here the example. So first we have a body element. Here we have a body element whose color is the light green. Now I have a condition with the help of the media query. I'm going to put the condition. If that condition is true, then and then only the body background color is going to change to the light blue. But if that condition is false, then the body background color is green. It's by default. Actually, it is not by default color, but which is set before the condition. So media query, it is used to specify the condition. Or basically what we have to see here, adapt the content to the specific screen size. Whenever we are dealing with the screen size, or whenever we are talking about the screen size, the major part is the how many pixels it is having. Okay, we can say it is the height, its height and width, and the orientation of that particular screen, that landscape or the portrait. two conditions or two parameters we are going to consider regarding the screen size. So here we have a two conditions. In the first condition, if maximum width is 600 pixels, okay, that means if your screen is up to 600 pixels, then the background color of your body is light blue. Otherwise, if this your device width is more than 600, then your body color is light green. Okay, likewise, according to the condition, we can define or we can develop the style, or we can develop the page display on the particular device. Now, next, we have seen portrait orientation. That is, if your screen is portrait orientation of. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Then we have seen the condition of orientation of the screen. That means it may be portrait, it may be landscape. So accordingly, we have to mention here. Actually, the important part is this one. That is @ media only screen and orientation portrait. If your screen orientation is portrait, then body background color is light blue. Otherwise, red. Likewise, according to the screen, we have to develop the style or we have to execute the code. Then flexible images and media that respond to change to the screen size. Here we can say images and medias we can change according to the screen size. Last but not the least important are the images and media videos. The problem with them is that they are elements that comes with the fixed sizes. There are several approaches to the fix this. Replacing dimensions with the percentage value, using maximum widths, using background images only for some cases, then use some libraries such as Scotgels, picture fill, taking out the width and height parameter from the image tag and dealing with the dimensions in CSS. Okay, so we have to see one by one with example. The first property we have seen using the width property. If we are going to set the width of that particular image, then the same what we are going to say, that particular width is occurred, or simply if height property is auto, that means it will fix or it will scale up and down. That image is automatically scale up and scale down if your height property is auto, and you have to set the width 100%, 50% accordingly. We have executed it in the previous lecture, so you got to know how it is going to execute. Then using the maximum width property in the image, same we are going to set the maximum width is 100% and height is auto. Same it is set or it will display the image as it is. Then background images can also respond to resizing and scaling. Again, background images having three different methods. With the help of that, we can display the background image on the screen. First one is the background size. Then we have seen the example of the background size. Again, background size is having content. Then what we have? Content, that means whatever content it is having, it is completely displayed on the web page. Then background size property set to 100%. 100% background size. If the background size is 100%, 100%, that means it will what we are going to say, that image is fulfill complete device width or complete device screen it is going to fulfill. And third one is uh, cover, that means it will cover the complete what we are going to say, complete width of the device, and if the image is greater than that width, it will clip the image. Okay. So there are three methods with the help of, or the three ways with the help of that we can display the background image on the screen. First one is a content. Second one is 100%, background size, and background size is cover. Fluid grid view, that means you have to display the web page or it is divided into the number of columns. So we have to divide your screen into the number of columns. Here we have divided it. Then accordingly we have to execute the example also. Then we have a ready-made framework which is provided by the W3 school. So the framework name is w3.css. With the help of that, we can also develop the RWD, responsive web designs you can develop with the help of frameworks, and the framework is w3.css. Just you have to include, or just you have to open, just we have to download, or you can see the w3.css. So just you have to add the link here. You can add that w3.css cascading style sheet, and accordingly you can develop your web application. Whatever style sheet is available into the w3.css file, it is applicable on your code. Okay, it is a framework which is readily available. Mostly whatever web applications you have developed, many of the framework, many of the style sheets are available online. It is available to you to develop your web application. There is no need to, there is no bother about how to develop the cascading style sheet, how to develop the JavaScript. It is readily available to you. Just you have to use it in your code only. Okay. Here we have seen the example which is used to what we are going to say. It is the example of the w3 .css, or the framework, which w3 framework. With the help of that, we have to develop the this simple application. Then now today's part is the Bootstrap 4 introduction. Actually, Bootstrap. Now Bootstrap is having two versions, Bootstrap 3 and 4. So we have to focus on the Bootstrap 4 introduction. So Bootstrap, basically, what we are going to say. Bootstrap, again, it is a framework which is available to you to develop the web applications. Okay, and with the help of Bootstrap, we have to develop again the responsive web designs. Okay, so Bootstrap 4 is the newest version of the Bootstrap, which is the most popular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript framework for developing responsive mobile first websites. Okay, like if you want to develop responsive web applications, that means your web applications will execute on any of the screen or on any of the device. So we have to develop that particular web applications. To develop that web applications, you can use w3.css framework, or you can use the Bootstrap. But nowadays we are going to use the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap 4, it is the latest version, or it is the ready-made framework which is available to you to develop your web application. Okay, now what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is the free front-end framework for faster and easier web development. Bootstrap includes HTML and CSS based design templates for typography, form, button, table, navigation, models, images, crucials, and many other, as well as optional JavaScript plugins. Okay, as I have told you, Bootstrap is the framework which is readily available to you. Just you have to use it in your web application. Okay, and it is actually the combination of HTML and CSS, plus it is the combination of JavaScript. It is having the JavaScript plugins, uh, and it is having the template. So by using that template, we can develop our web application. Then Bootstrap also gives you the ability to easily create responsive designs. What is responsive web design? A responsive web design is about creating website which automatically adjust themselves to look good on all devices, from small phones to a large desktop. See, हो. Then why use Bootstrap? Advantages of the Bootstrap: easy to use. Anybody with just basic knowledge of HTML and CSS can start using the Bootstrap. Responsive features: Bootstrap responsive CSS adjusts to phones, tablet, and desktop. Mobile first approach: in Bootstrap, mobile first style are part of the core framework. Then browser compatibility. Bootstrap 4 is compatible with all modern browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer 10 plus, Edge, Safari, and Opera. Okay, these are the advantages of the Bootstrap. Where to get the Bootstrap 4? How to download the Bootstrap 4? Again, there are two methods. With the help of that, we can use the Bootstrap. We can use the Bootstrap online as well as we can use the Bootstrap offline. So, if you want to use or execute the Bootstrap online, we have a CDN. Again, I'm going to give you the path. Or just you have to include the link of that CDN in your code, and automatically all the style sheet it is applicable on your web page, which is available in the CSS or the Bootstrap CSS file. Okay, actually, they have developed bootstrap.css file with the help of which is having the cascading style sheet, and same cascading style sheet we are going to use in our web pages. Okay, in your web applications. So there are two ways. We can use online Bootstrap as well as we can use offline Bootstrap. So online Bootstrap, it is nowadays it is a very easy option, and mostly they are going to use the online Bootstrap. But so if your system does not have the internet access, then only you are going to use the offline Bootstrap. So we are going to see both the steps, how to use the online and offline Bootstrap. So to execute the online Bootstrap, we have a CDN option. So here we are going to see the first method, that is Bootstrap for a CDN. If you don't want to download and host Bootstrap for yourself, you can include it from CDN, that is Content Delivery Network. Max CDN provides CDN supports for the Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript. You must also include jQuery. Basically, again, you require to include the jQuery as a plugins, or you have to include some plugins to execute your web applications. So as I told you that Bootstrap 4, we are going to access it from the CDN, and it is a cascading style sheet. That means how to include the external cascading style sheet in our web application with the help of link element. Okay, with the help of link element, we are going to link the external style sheet in our web application. So here we are going to use the link variable. Now it is having the property rel, which indicates it is a relationship or it is a style sheet. Then href, it indicates the path of your cascading style sheet. Okay. Again, I think it is having the type is equal to text oblique CSS. We have to specify it. Okay. Then the next method is downloading Bootstrap for the offline. So if you want to download the Bootstrap offline, or if you want to execute, or if you want to develop the web applications offline, then you are going to download the Bootstrap 4, and then you are going to use it in your own web applications. Okay. To download the Bootstrap offline, just go to this website, that is http s.getbootstrap.com. It is the official website to download the Bootstrap. You have to click on the download. Then we have various files actually. So out of that, we have to download the compiled CSS and JavaScript. Okay, what we have to download? We have to download compiled CSS and JavaScript. So, okay, download ready to use compiled code for Bootstrap version 4 5.0.0 beta 3 is easily dropped into your project, which includes compiled and minified CSS bundles, CSS file comparisons, and JavaScript compiled and minified JavaScript plugins. It is readily available in your CSS and JS. You have to download it. Okay, now it is downloaded. Just go in folder. Extract the file. You can extract it in the same folder, no worry. Or you can extract it in your own folder. So now we have a extracted file. Just double click it on. Now we have to open the CSS, which is having the cascading style sheet. From all these files, just we have to copy the bootstrap.mean .css and bootstrap.css file. Only two files we require. Just we have to copy it, and we have to save it in your folder. Suppose on the desktop I have folder whose name is Bootstrap. You can write down any name to the folder. No worry. Just you have to paste it in the. Okay. These are the cascading style sheet. But for the offline Bootstrap, if you want to use the offline Bootstrap, you have to download some jQuery plugins, which is available on the jQuery.com official website. So you require some jQuery plugins to execute the Bootstrap offline. Okay, it is the method of offline Bootstrap execution. How it is going to execute. Now the next we are going to see the example of online Bootstrap. Okay, it is the important example of how to execute the online Bootstrap. To execute the online Bootstrap, just you have to include the cascading style sheet with the help of link element, and which is available, which is ready-madely available on the that given link. Here I have given the link where the that particular what we are going to say, that cascading style sheet is available. So just we have to copy paste the link which is ready-madely available, which is it will give you the cascading style sheet to develop the web applications. So what is the important part? Important part is here, that is link. Relationship is equal to style sheet. Href is equal to, now it is the path, that is https, because it is online. Then max cdn, that dot bootstrap cdn.com bootstrap, that is for it is the path of the it is the path of your css file which is ready-madely available to you, which is provided by cdn. Then you can directly use that cascading style sheet in your application. And again I told you, you require some scripting language or some script to execute your program. So it is also again available. You can just copy it from the same slide, or you can copy from the it is available, again it is available on the same website, that getbootstrap.com, which is the official website. Again it gives you the cdn path and all the scripting files. Just you have to copy that path and all the scripting files. So whatever javascript you require, whatever cascading style sheet you require, it is ready-madely available to you. Okay, and you can directly use it in your application. Okay, it is the important part regarding the bootstrap, online bootstrap. Are you getting it? It is the important part which is related to the online bootstrap, where we have to just copy, or we can say where we have to include the cascading style sheet which is ready-madely available, which is online available in your web application. Then we have a body element, then div class. Actually, all these contents are available into the bootstrap.css file. That div class, jumbotron text center, then h1 element which is having the my first bootstrap page. Whatever style it is defined in the that particular cascading style, that it is applicable on that h1. Then P, resize the responsive web page to see the effect. Then we have to close the div element. Now next div element which is having the class container. Accordingly, it will basically container, we can say, which will group up the columns and rows. So container, it is same like a table which is having the number of rows and number of columns. So div class container, again in that we have one more div class. First we have one row, then div class is equal to row. Now row is again having some columns. Here class column sm4, it is indicate the width of the device. Actually the div class called sm4, it indicates the width of the screen, and then we have to display the content whatever you want. Then next column we have again whose width is column sm4. Then you have to write down the content accordingly. Then one more div column sm4, column sm4. Then you have to write down the content. Then you have to close the div and div. You have to close the body and html. So we have to execute it, so it will be more clear to you. We have to save it. The name of file is index.html. Save. Just we have to execute it. Okay. Likewise, we have what we are going to say, that particular style sheet is going to apply on your web page. You can check. You can see these styles. We are not going to use these styles like column one, column two, column three. Accordingly, it is going to divide it into the different part. Container. Otherwise, we have to write down the div, simply div, column 1 and some content. It is occurred at the column 1, then column 2, then column 3. But all these column 1, column 2, column 3, we have to combine in one single container. Okay, that's why we are going to use the class container. Container class is having the row is having 3 columns, and 3 columns are having this information. Okay. And before that, I think we have one more div element, which is having the class Jumbotron Text Center. My first bootstrap page resize and all this information we have written. Here we are going to use the class Jumbotron Text Center. So accordingly, that class, the style sheet is going to apply on that particular div element. Okay. Then we have a container class. Container class, again it is having the row class, and row class is having again having the columns. Accordingly, we are going to resize the columns also. Again, it is having different classes. So we I think we have next slide, which is having the different classes. I think. Okay, actually they have not specified different classes, but here are various classes. Accordingly, we are going to develop the website, or according to the size, we can develop it. So the next part, important part, is that demystifying grids. Okay, demystifying grids. Actually, the meaning of that particular term is that you have to arrange, you have to control the grids of your system, or of your, sorry, of your screen. Okay, grids, that means your total screen, it is divided into the different grids, and according to the size, or you can control the grid. Okay, and these grids are nothing but your workplace where you have to perform your work. So the basic and important information actually we have regarding the grid, and accordingly we are going to develop the gridding system in the web application. Okay, so the Bootstrap grid system. Bootstrap's grid system allows up to 12 columns across the page. That means a complete page we have to divide it into the 12 columns, which is having the same size. Then Bootstrap grid system is responsive, and the columns will rearrange depending on the screen size. On a big screen, it might look better with the content organized in the 3 columns, but on smaller screen, it would be better if the content item from the stacked on top of each other. If you do not want to use all 3 columns individually, you can group the columns together to create a wider column. Okay, again, it is completely depend on you. You can group it, you can use individually, you can group like 4 4 4, 4 8 6 6, or total 12. Okay, these are nothing but the grid. It is the important part of the gridding system of your web page, or every page it is divided into the 12 grids, or we can say it is 12 columns. Then Bootstrap grid system has four classes. That is XS. Same classes we have seen in the call uh, SM, SM4. Okay, like here call SX, SM, MD, and LG. Okay, and again it is depend upon the size of your device, as we have seen. X is that it is for the phone. If you want to display this website or web page on the phone, then you are going to use the class XS for the phone whose screen is less than 768 pixels wide. Okay, the mobile phone screen is always less than 765 pixels wide. Then SM is for the tablet, MD for the small laptops, and LG for the laptop and desktop. Okay, according to the device, they are given the width. Like if you are going to execute a website on the phone, the width is less than 768 pixels. If you want to execute it on the tablet, the width of the tablet is more than or the greater than 768 pixels. For the small laptop, the size of the screen is 992 or 992 pixels wide. And for the laptop, the screen size is greater than 1200 pixels. Likewise, classes we have and same classes we are going to use. Now there are grid system rules, some bootstrap grid system rules. Rows must be placed within a container, fixed site or a dot container fluid full width for proper alignment and padding. Okay, so these are the rules. Accordingly, we are going to develop the grid system. Use rows to create a horizontal group of column. As you know, one row again it is divided into the different columns. The column may be of 12 columns. There may be a 12 columns, there may be a 4 4 4 like 3 columns, there may be a 6 6 like 2 columns. Okay, and it is horizontal grouping. Okay, then content should be placed within a column and only column may be immediately children of the row. Okay, then predefined classes like dot row and dot call sm4 are available for quickly making grid layout. Columns created gutters or gap between the column content via padding. According to the padding, there is a gap between that particular column and content, whatever content we have written. The padding is offset of rows for the first and the last column via negative margin on dot rows. Grid columns are created by specifying the number of 12 available columns you wish to span. For example, three equal columns would use 3 dot call dot sm slash dash 4. Column width are in percentage, so they are always fluid and size relative to their parent element. Now here is a basic structure of a bootstrap. Accordingly, we have to develop the gridding system in the with the help of bootstrap to develop the applications which will execute on the any of the device. So what they are going to use again here we are going to include the cascading style sheet, that is online CDS, CDN, and accordingly we are going to use the scripting also. Now here we are going to see first div class, div element which is having the class container fluid. Okay, we have two classes, that is container and container fluid. No, dot container or dot container fluid. So we are going to use here. Here we are going to use the class container fluid. Then h1 p1 you can write down the content. Now the next class again having the div class row, and row class again it is divided into the three columns. Okay, and where we are going to apply the style of or we are going to apply the background color of that respective column. So you can change here the colors, you can keep it as it is, no worry. So the first row it is divided into the four columns. Okay, so the this columns class is the call sm4, and accordingly you have to specify the background color. So we have to execute it. So we have to execute it. Okay, these are the columns. One container or one row, it is divided into the columns. Okay, here we are going to specify dot column SM4. So the your screen size, it is less than the 768 pixels. Okay, so we have to change here. We are going to see what happened here. Call SM4. If we are going to use which classes we have, access. Here we are going to see the classes, no? XS. We're going to check here what happened if we have to mention here XS4. I think it is having some different number. Yeah, it is not having any change. But it actually that column it because the complete that website we are going to that particular web page we are going to execute on the laptop. Okay, if you are going to specify access, that means if your device screen is less than 768 pixels, again it is look like this. Okay, because the same code we are going to execute on the laptop only. Okay, but if your screen is having the width which is less than 768 pixels, still it is look like same. Are you getting it? Okay. Then what we have, two columns with two nested columns. Again, it is the one more example where we can divide the columns into again two columns. You can execute it during your practical. Then the next part we are going to see, that is off canvas. Okay, the off canvas, again it is very important part. With the help of that off canvas, we can hide some slides. We can set in the slide, but we can hide some part. If you want to hide the part, if you want to show it, you can show it. Okay, but it required off canvas. Why do you mean by off? What do you mean by off canvas? By default, the plugin will prepend the menu to the body and hide it from sight. Okay, suppose you want to display some menu on the screen, but you do not want to display it continuously. If you want to hide it, okay, at the same time we are going to use the off canvas concept. Okay, which concept we are going to use? We are going to use off canvas concept. With the help of that, we can hide the that particular menu bar. Okay, when the menu is going to open, the page slides out of view, revealing the menu and blocking the page from the interaction. This kind of behavior is called off canvas menu. Okay, you can search it at the in W3 School. Again, it is having various concepts related to the off canvas, but we are going to see only one example which is related to the off canvas menu. So here I have an example, but it is actually shared, but I don't have access, so I'm going to take it from my email account. Mm, can we copy it? So it is the example of canvas. Just we have to save it. So we have to execute it. When you have to click on this line, the menu is going to open. If you have to click on the cross, it is going to hide. Okay, it is the concept of off canvas. So we have to check out the code. So to execute or to implement the off canvas, we require some JavaScript. So here we have a style of side navigation, whose height, width, position, Z index, top left, background color, overflow, X hidden, transitions, padding top, all properties we have set for the side navigation. Then side navigation A, padding, text, decoration, font size, display block, transition 0.3 seconds. Likewise, we have to set some styles. And the next part, that is buttons, all these we are going to develop. Close button we have to develop. Maximum height, here we are going to use the media query. If the maximum height is 450 pixels, then side nav padding top is 15 and side nav font size is 18 pixels. Then we are going to use the same style sheet for the particular element. And accordingly, we have to create here the references or links on that particular slide menu. Then close button. Now it is the main part actually. This div element is having the main part where we are going to use uh, uh, span style, or we can say pointer. Whenever you have to click on that, then and then only it is going to what we are going to say, it is open the menu bar, and then when we have to click on the close, it is close to the menu bar. So we required on click command. Accordingly, the script is going to execute. Open navigation. Basically, it required the JavaScript. It will be more clear to you whenever we have to finish the JavaScript, which is included in the third unit. So accordingly, we can execute the off canvas. You can execute during your practical also. Now the next important part, that is Bootstrap components. It is very important part which is provided by the Bootstrap, which will give you various components which you require to develop the web applications, like drop down menu you required, buttons you required, button drop downs you required, navigation you required, nav bar required, then breadcrumbs, pagination, labels, uh, typography, thumbnails, alerts, progress bar, media, object, mics, all these key components which are available in the Bootstrap. So out of that, we are going to see only the drop down. All these components which are available on the W3 School also, you can execute during your practical. You have to execute the all Bootstrap components. Okay, you have to execute all the bootstrap components during your practical. So just we are going to see one example here, the drop down menu, how the drop down menu is going to display. Okay, so again here we have to include the cascading style sheet. Then to display the drop down, we have here in the body element, again we are going to create the class container. Then drop down, the drop down class is used to indicate the drop down menu, which is the drop down menu class to actually build a drop down menu. Okay, these are the information regarding the drop down menu. The important part is div, which class we are going to use here, the drop down. It is the ready made class which is available to us. Now we have to create the button. Button type is equal to button class. Here we are going to class btn primary drop down toggle. Okay, then data toggle is equal to drop down. All these are the properties. Out of that property we are going to access the class which is ready-madely defined in the cascading style sheet. So simply we are going to use here the class btn primary drop down toggle, and data toggle, how it is going to toggle, it is drop down. Okay, then drop down button, and then we have to create the menu for the drop down. So to create, we have to close the button. Then again we have a class drop down menu, where we are going to add the hyperlink, link 1, link 2, link 3, accordingly the links, or we can simply add any of the menu. There is no need to add the hyperlink. You can add any menu in the drop down menu. Okay, so we have to execute it. We are going to check is it executable or not. Okay, drop down HTML, so we have to execute it. Okay, it is the drop down button. These are the links, because we are going to use the hyperlink. Okay, or the anchor tag, we are going to create the link. Okay, so it is very easy code which is provided by the bootstrap component. All these components you can use during your practical, because it is very important to develop your web application. Okay, because you required progress bar, you required mics, you required navigation. Okay, likewise all the components they have provided to us, so you have to just execute it during the practical. Okay, accordingly today we are going to finish our second unit. So okay, we have to finish our second unit. So your ISC is having 2 units. I'm going to design the question paper on first 2 units. Okay.